You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show.
Doom, doom, doom. Nobody knows where they might wake up, 'cause you drank too much.
Work the afro. Got the afro. Got the afro. Work the afro.
Oh, Ramon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz. This is the Grey's Anatomy After Show. I'm Starr Session. We've got my co-host over here.
Hi, Star. I'm Jason J. Carter. Hey, AfterBuzzers. How's it going?
Good. I've got an afro. I'm feeling loose. I'm feeling free.
Star,
Burke is back.
Burke. Yes, you're all natural tonight. Mm-hmm. And yes, Burke is back. And okay, let's do our shots real quick because we're about to go in
on this episode.
We got to say what's up to Talabatar, who, by the way, Talabatar, we love you. Thank you so much. She is like on it. She tweets me like news and gossip and like behind the scenes of Grey's Anatomy. She knows
Super
folks.
fan. Super
she knows
into it.
people. She knows people.
I'm with you.
Got to say what's up to Brianna Gurley, Cleo Lorraine, Kyle White, Alicia Harding, Sandra Bumbar, Abigail, I think her name is Wyshaw?
It's
Abigail, but you know who you are. She's like, y'all never give me a shout out.
Oh, and then you didn't. Then you butchered her name.
Well, I mean, she butchered her own her own Twitter handle.
Oh, she should have gone like just her name or something simple.
Lovable Nikki.
But we do love our fans.
Yeah, Lovable Nikki be on it too. Who else? I don't want to forget anyone because the season's almost about to wrap up and people stay bitter at me for like months.
That's true.
They'll be at the premiere. So, Jason, you forgot to give me
my
a shout.
phone died, so I just shout out to all the people that have been tweeting since earlier today.
Also, I want to say
started at 6 a.m.
Kimberly Mayfield at KDallas91. She's been messaging me, DMing me all day talking about, also, she said that the storyline's inconsistent, the limeline's inconsistent. She was going in. She had some heated things to say about tonight's episode.
Oh my goodness.
So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Where do we even start? I mean, let's start soft.
Okay, yeah. Cristina gets invited to Zurich. Zurich. Where is Zurich? Is Zurich in Switzerland, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say it's like in Norway, but no, it's in Switzerland.
Yeah. There you go.
It's Swiss. It's in Zurich.
Zurich. So she gets to go to Zurich. She's been invited by a name called Vice.
Yeah, and first of all, why would you hop on a plane to go to a foreign country by a one named
email? Yeah, like, can you come to talk about your conduit?
My name is Jones. You want to come to Paris? Sure, Jones.
But the fact is, it's an all-paid expense trip to Zurich. But she was at the ticket counter saying, "Can I get a round-trip ticket?" Like, isn't that a little expensive? No.
Well,
like at the ticket counter.
Well, normally in real life, the ticket's purchased already. It's round trip. Why would
you just walk and be like, "Oh, I hope there's a seat for me"? Is that how it rolls?
Or like, or I might decide to move here and not come back.
Yeah, that was a little inconsistent. We'll have to agree with our Twitter fans.
Inconsistent.
And then when she gets there, she gets to have her speech about the conduit, and she gets a question from the audience, and it's dun dun dun, lighting, music,
everything,
action.
I'm gonna say this: Burke being black really helped with the whole "God, is that you?" thing because it was like you couldn't see him.
It was written all over her face, like God, hello,
who's asking me these questions? And that lisp of Burke's was like,
I was like, what is he saying? I needed like closed captioning for that one.
Cristina, so like if
missed that whole whatever he was saying.
If the heart and the conduit.
Oh.
Yeah, 7 years.
That's your list, buddy. Oh.
You tried it, Star. You tried
Jason
it.
has a little bit of a list.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I hate you. You have a fro tonight.
That's true.
You're freeving all over the place tonight.
I'm with Stephanie Edwards
No
tonight.
romantic hair for you. But the whole Burke reveal was definitely okay. It was done right. It was great. But why was he standing in the middle of the stairwell, like
the reveal of his face, down the steps, the lighting,
the
and
orchestrated music.
He stepped into the light. The music building,
yes,
yeah,
crescendo.
Crescendo. I said crescendo. I don't know. Crescendo, and then you realize it's him, and it's like, okay, Burke.
And she was instantly turned on. She was like, "Where is my sex toy?"
Everyone
right now?
was clapping. I'd be like, security, but I guess he owns the hospital.
Well, we find out he owns the hospital.
He owns the hospital. He is the man in charge. He's been doing surgery.
He is the HNIC.
Ooh.
For those who know what that is, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it here because Maria Menounos would kick my black ass.
With that said, yeah, I mean, when we first start to see who he is, we realize that we were excited because Burke is back. But really, we were like, Burke is a dick.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of like irritated with him and not.
I wasn't irritated with him
feeling
because
him.
I was more. Okay, if they really wanted to make that powerful, Cristina has one reaction in her face. It's either like, I'm mad and I'm madder. There's no kind of like surprise or her eyebrows don't move or she's very like Botox.
She was definitely not excited.
Yeah, but I think she was a little shocked and maybe a little scared, or Starr, when you see that ex, the one that broke your heart or the one that got you sprung, and you see them again after a while, you're like
speechless. She said, I gotta make a phone call.
She's like, hold on, I gotta call. Beep boop bop boop beep boop boop. Oh, Mayor,
my person.
Yeah, and
but it was cute how he was like, tell Meredith I said hello, even though she was trying to be ambiguous about it and just say, I got to make a phone call. I thought that was really cute and clever, but we all knew she was calling Meredith. I mean, hello, like he used an alias name.
Right.
He's going to bring her coffee after this, like, hey, I hope you're fine. Here's coffee. I mean, F you.
Right, it's like, how dare you? And she was looking fly.
There was a lot of F you moments in this whole, every time that they were together, it was kind of like he kept throwing things at her to be like,
very passive aggressive though.
F you. I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
And I love how she left the coffee behind. I don't know if that was an editing moment or if that was on purpose, but I really, really love that.
I'm not going to drink your Zurich coffee. You're from Norway or wherever you're from.
She was definitely intrigued because I think she was ready to walk away at that point.
She still wanted a piece of that chocolate.
Until he dangled a surgery that she had to see over his head.
Right.
She didn't fly all this way just to, say a speech when there's a little bit more added to the punch.
For sure.
So,
and I will reiterate that her heels were bomb. Yang looked hot.
She did look good.
She cleans up very well.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked sleek. The shoes were on point. But when they got into that surgery, she was not impressed.
No.
Until
the Jim and the holographic heart. It's Showtime synergy.
Yeah, I was like, it's Tupac. Because they did the hologram Tupac last year at Coachella. Hashtag throwback Thursday.
Yeah, and then she could touch the heart.
And then you can move it.
And Starr, did you not see their hands intertwined together? They were trying. They were doing the most.
But the music was all sexual. I mean, they were really trying to pull us in with him, like being all slow.
But you know what? They have great chemistry. Burke and Yang always have fantastic chemistry.
Yes, it's true. But it's just like every time I look at him, he's just like, ugh. He left her at the altar.
And she says, I had to get cut out of my dress. And, if they
had to what?
To get cut out of her dress. They played the season 3 finale tonight before the...
I was driving over here, but I wish I could have seen it again. That would have been a good one.
That was back when the writing on Grey's was epic. That was probably one of the most emotional, sad, powerful moments of Grey's Anatomy that you can't recreate that because... It was just so damn good.
It was good.
And there was a twist there. You did not think that Burke would stand her up at the altar because Burke was going to think she was going to stand him up at the altar.
Yep.
So it's just like all these parallel things that are coming back and seeing them back on the same screen together. I was wondering, how would I feel? Would I harken back to 2007 when this happened? Or would I, and I didn't feel their chemistry again. It was a whole new world. It was like, okay, well, they're different people now. And I wanted them to have that moment of maybe passion, embrace, and her be like, no, or something different versus than what we got.
No, well, we definitely got, as a viewer, we both at the same time realized that the way they're trying to portray him was that, can't even get my words together, that we wouldn't like him.
Right.
You know, like that we were just kind of like disgusted that he's even back. The way he was just acting like he's so all high and mighty. Here's my beautiful new office. Here's my backdrop green screen.
Here's my
view.
holographic heart.
Yeah, like it was just like throwing a lot of FUs in her face.
Right, like.
And she was, okay. You felt the chemistry, right? He was being all extra sexual.
Extra.
And she was like, okay, if you're bringing me all the way across country using an alias name because you knew I wouldn't come, why are you acting all sexual? And do you want me back? And he was like, here's my kids.
I know, it was like, boom.
Another FU. And I'm like,
you bastard.
You're rude.
Like, here's my wife, Indra, 5 years. Here's my kid, Fonquisha and Monisha. They're great. They're cute. I was like, really? And important. And here's the thing
her name was Grace, the wife.
Grace, whatever her name was.
Fonquisha.
I mean, look, but here's the thing about Yang.
They had natural African hair. They were working it in those pictures.
They were freevin'.
Free.
The thing about that, I felt for Yang because, okay, so you see two different lives now. You see how Burke, because we haven't seen Burke in 7 years. It's been since 2007 since we've seen Burke. It's been a long time.
Burke is back.
Burke got a receding hairline. A lot of things happened to Burke in that 7 years. But he's more successful. He is, of this hospital. Because he was the man. And Cristina's been through a lot. And there was a lot of references about the plane crash. The things that he knew that happened to her, but they were very indirect. And seeing him show the wife and the kids, I felt bad for Yang. I was like, wow, dude, like you broke this woman, and you did all these horrible things to her, and so much has happened to her that's even worse than anything that could happen to you. But yet it's just like, wow, she was stronger than him, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Well, she's really good about putting on the front, but I want to definitely back up a little bit because he was like, I know that you've been working on this conduit, and I know you know what I've been working on. As if they're, but everyone is always like, what is my ex doing on Facebook? No, if they're not deleted. No. Or everyone's just trying to see what's going on.
My ex is fat. No, thank you.
Well, if you had the chemistry still there and he left you at the altar, you would probably keep still looking 7 years later.
Probably.
But with those 7 years later, with the inconsistency that some of our fans are saying about this episode, she would have known that he would have had a wife and kids.
Right, so she wasn't. So she wasn't.
But she never answered that question.
Right.
He assumed that she knew what his life had
Pompous
turned into.
bastard.
There was a little moment there that I noticed. So
After Buzzers, I will say tonight I was definitely Team Cristina because first of all, I wish ABC would stop with this whole farewell to Cristina. Like, we know she's leaving.
They're making it really big.
I wish they should, of course. I mean, she deserves that. But the whole they take the Grey's Anatomy, the bold, the bold
and they
font,
bring that font down to 10,
and then farewell to Cristina. It's like, stop. She's leaving. We get it. Let's just keep it moving. But I felt for her. It was just, there's so many moments of emotion. I was just like, damn, that's gotta. Wonder what she's feeling like. If that was me in real life, how would I feel? I would be a little elated because here's this person that changed your life emotionally. You haven't seen, fell off the face of the earth physically. You couldn't see this person again. Of course, you could read about them in publications, whatever.
Right.
And then to have that person, it's like you're waiting for that moment to happen.
Right.
Karma, and you wait and you play it on your head how it's going to be so perfect and what you're going to say.
It doesn't go the way you want.
And sometimes it goes better than you ever imagined. But there's always a twist, a sideball, a curve that's like, really. And tonight we kept getting tons of, really? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Well, there was a lot of moments like referencing back to Yang and the fact that he did move on. He did have a house, a wife, and kids, but he made it clear that, she couldn't be that person for him because they both needed to do something great in this world.
Right.
And with each other being together, like he says in the end of the episode, is that like, you were my everything, that I wasn't really focusing so much on the science of it, that I was focusing so much on you that I couldn't have gotten to this place where I am now.
Right.
But with that said, now I have this family and she's holding down the fort, and there's no way I could have a wife that didn't want kids. So that's that jab again. It's another FU again, even though he probably didn't know about the whole not wanting to have kids, Owen or situation. But, there's that moment of back and forthness where like Yang just had a few jabs at her this episode, but
a lot of jabs. But and the reason why the jabs probably hurt so much is because, like, again, of everything she's been through prior and their history and just like her overall story. She's always when she got choked out.
Stop bringing that up every
episode. But it's the truth, though. She got choked out. I mean, every man that she's loved has been a douchebag in some way, shape, or form.
She should just be a lesbian.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be a hot lesbian.
She would work it.
I mean, I go for that. So, but I mean, it was nice to see. It was nice to see them back together, and I kind of felt like their chemistry when they were in the hospital looking at the heart was kind of forced because she was like, "Oh, it's a holographic heart," and yeah, I want. And now I'm like, now you're excited about this, and then there's a whole room full of conduit builder. It was like alien cocoons.
Oh, the printers, the 49 printers.
Yeah, like breeding
out.
people, like in like Minority Report or something like that. Just very weird, very very weird. So let's go back to Seattle. Let's get back on stage.
Let's just wrap them up because we're basically done with them, right? In a sense.
Well, no, because we have what he wants from her.
Okay, we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back to that because that was the twist that everyone on Twitter was talking about. Oh, there's twists tonight, and for once, tonight's episode did live up to the hype of the promotion.
I love tonight's episode.
Yeah, it was very good. The Like a Virgin cover, fan-freaking-tastic.
Yes, we were still singing it until right before we pressed play on
Madonna's
this.
probably like, this is wrong. They redid my song better than I ever could.
It was just slow and
I
liked it.
It was more heartfelt because, I mean, remember the. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, and also
it just went really well with the episode tonight.
Why don't they do what they say what they eat? One thing, In-N-Out Burger. That's my version of the song because I'm definitely wanting an In-N-Out Burger right now.
That just totally happened.
Yeah, 80s music, 80s music.
So the episode basically starts out this evening with are you looking to terminate? Avery, Kepner, they got the what is it called?
The mammogram? No. Sonogram?
Sonogram. You said
mammogram, Starr.
I said and you said mammogram on air.
Okay, it was a gram.
I love that. Anyways, they were looking to see if she was really with child, and it's true. And this first question out of the OBGYN's mouth was, do you want to terminate?
Like, pow. Like, okay, look, let's get to the chase. Do you want to abort the baby?
Yeah. But my question was, Kepner was like, do you? But Kepner,
Jesus freaked out. Like, you don't abort babies.
There's not even an option for you, so why would you even ask him? Because it's your body.
Right.
But I guess
but
she wanted to know.
Inconsistencies.
No, but I mean, I would want to know too, because if we've been fighting for the last 2 episodes about
what kind of question? That's like you want like macaroni or mashed potatoes. Honey, do you want to abort the baby? Let me know now.
Just let me
Please
know.
let me know. Give me a heads up. Tweet me.
Yeah. So I mean, they're still a little bit on the rocks, but this episode turned really cute when they started going into baby names, and she confronted Arizona. And FYI, I've been up on my names because I got a comment that why doesn't start over names
characters.
And I did some studying, and sometimes I just have issues. We're live here. Hello.
And it's late.
And it's late at night. But with that said, they had baby names. Arizona was, going off of names like hashtag. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And she slipped that one in. Hashtag would be one of the names that.
And Agamemnon?
Agamemnon.
Who? What? That's even worse than Calliope.
Yeah.
Agamemnon. We can call her Aggie.
Aggie.
Stupid. Don't do it. Dude, I mean, if you're listening and out there and your name is Agamemnon, get an alias. Maybe you should be Vice.
Yeah. Well, Kepner and Avery, they were sitting over having lunch, snack, whatever. They were in the cafeteria. And she was basically saying like names, and she goes Phoebe and he goes Phoebe freebie #slut,
Right.
whatever. That was like really a cute moment.
Well, Phoebe's a horrible name anyways.
Yeah, Phoebe's like horrible.
That's like very like 87.
But in that scene, we see that they definitely are still in that fighting phase. Like they can't agree with anything. Like she was really distraught that the doctor, that was the first thing that she said. But I don't know, when it came down to it, April just wants him to be on her side.
Right.
And
I know.
we see in this episode that she's on his side when, are we going to jump a little forward?
Sure.
When Chief Weber,
who's really pissed about the Harper Avery scandal.
Yes.
Scandalo.
Chief Weber, he basically called a meeting about the Avery Foundation and how the scandal happened with her not winning the award.
Basically saying that, look, people, no one in this hospital is going to win in Harper Avery, so don't even try it. And, I'm glad that Chief is going there,
proactive and putting them on blast.
No, but it's not even proactivity. It's like hashtag team too much though.
A little too much.
He's like really adamant about. He's really mad about it, and then we find out that
he's a little hurt that his girlfriend,
his woman.
I think he's also going over the fact that he lost his girlfriend in this whole situation.
She was whack.
Yeah, as well as the integrity of the award is definitely gone. But do you think that he should have not called Avery? And I think Avery should have been the first step.
Well, I think he's making it very personal, and he's being passive aggressive, meaning like, look, I was screwing your mom. Your mom's a total biatch, and I hate you for it too because you're blood. Ooh. And we should have never got into bed with the Harper Avery people. Blah 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 blah. So I don't know. I think it's another facet of tonight's episode that could have kind of been left out. I really feel like this episode should have been about Burke and Cristina more, but we also have the patient stories, and we have a really weird 90s kind of feel for Alex and Joe when he pulls up in the car. He's in a suit. I was like, what is this? So did he quit? Car. Did he quit?
Well,
apparently.
We're jumping around so much. I love it. But I thought he was giving like a 2-week notice. They just kind of like were like.
He quit and got a new car.
Yeah, he was like, got a new car.
And Gold Digger Joe, she's like, yes, God, I'm all about it.
Yeah, she's like, you're buying the next round of drinks.
What is she? Digger. She is a gold digger. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I would be a little bit too.
I mean, yeah,
if
totally.
my man
if had money for sure. I mean, yeah, buy me whatever you want. I don't care.
That would have been fun. But Miss Gold Digger Joe, she was very overwhelmed in this episode. Everyone was throwing work at her, and she couldn't handle it. She never spoke up, and that's when she messed up and got whatever stuck and made the lady
tried to extrapolate something from some lady, and she something
she made
happened.
It worse.
She perfed something, and now she could not get a transplant something
and Owen something.
And AfterBuzzers and Starr Session, can we talk about how whack and lame Amy looks? Who gave her that mom wig?
The wig. It's like coming towards the front. It's very Grey's Anatomy, though.
Wasn't she a crackhead? I mean, is that what you think? I don't know. I thought maybe most crackheads I know have some hairstyle.
No, I don't even know what to say about that. But what I can say is that wig was ridiculous. And I didn't like how it was coming like forward. I mean,
it was very 88. She was like, "Here's a story of a girl named Amy."
It was the worst. And I got a second look at it. Like in the surgery, and I looked again at the very end of the episode. Like, it's not. It
she's
didn't get
all
better.
Wholesome now, but 2 seasons ago in Private Practice, she was in leather. I mean, I understand people. 12 steps, they get together, they find themselves. Find yourself a new hairdresser. Boop. Okay, so bloop.
So moving right along.
The conjoined twins. Hey, AfterBuzzers, Starr was calling them Siamese.
I was like, I didn't know. You should see the scribbles on here. I'm like, should I say Siamese?
Oh, look, Starr, it's conjoined.
Conjoined. There it is. I just don't hate me. But I love how they were like, don't react when you see our patients, and then that's what they, that's what they're saying, and then I immediately react. I was like, ooh, when they turned around, because the reveal was definitely like, oh, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, and I loved how one of them was like, yeah, our boyfriends. I was like, are they conjoined too? Like attracts like?
I have no idea, but it was a very very interesting story, but it just seemed a little quick.
Right.
I would have loved this episode this patient.
A little quick.
Well, this patient episode was it was a lot going on, and I don't feel like they were super prepared.
Right.
So we could have used this patient story maybe on another episode for one of those past filler ones, because this would have been a lot more interesting. Have they done conjoined twins?
Yes, they have.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe they're just prepared. Like we got this.
But we didn't have Amy in her wig with the conjoined twins, so that was a new dynamic and added extra little lanyap, little lanyap. So okay, before we talk even more about the epic Grey's Anatomy, go to iTunes, rate us, comment, leave a comment. What is wrong with me? Tell a friend. We love hearing your comments. Some of them are hilarious. People be going in. We're so glad you're passionate about the show, because we are too. Let us know if there's things we don't know. We always want to be on the know on everything Grey's Anatomy, because that's how we roll here at AfterBuzz TV. That's how we do. So what else? What was another standout that I really enjoyed? Well, Bailey. She injected. We knew. Well, I mean, come on. We called it last week. She injected the boy with the HIV virus. Mm-hmm. Now he's doing great.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, he's doing good. Where's Bailey? She's been avoiding us because we yelled at her." And da-da-da-da-da. Is that going to be revealed next episode? Yes,
maybe. But you know what?
She's going to hold that in, and they're just going to move on.
They have to pick. Because now we see Yang possibly could be leaving. I mean, they just have to. If Bailey can't be the center now, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It has to be a 2-hour season finale to get everything that they've been trying to build. Because normally by this time there's an arc. There is something leading up to like the grand
we don't know
slam.
Yet, right?
Know, like there's something that has to be like with the shooter. His wife died.
Ooh, don't talk about the shooter. It gives me bad dreams. It gives me bad dreams.
Here's the thing, though. What made the season 6 finale? one one of the best in TV history, and they were talking about it for weeks after, was when we saw him come back. We had
Stop
no
it.
we had no idea that he was going to come back and go to town.
Are you a nurse or a doctor? Are you a nurse or
I'm a surgeon. Boom.
Ooh.
You know, so we knew something was happening with Izzy, cancer, Denny. There was things that were in fruition that were bringing us to this like epic climax.
I'm with you 100%.
And I don't know what it's going to be. We know farewell to Cristina. I mean, it's like hashtag farewell to Cristina. We know that's the theme right now, but the finale.
But what is the show?
Right,
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. We haven't really found that arc yet. But with that said, like something has to build off her injecting this HIV virus into her son.
Like Contagion, like it breaks out or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
That'd be dope.
Or he just gets even worse, or he gets even better.
Or he dies.
Or more tests. Oh my gosh.
Or he dies. Or Brayden dies.
Brayden.
Speaking of dying, we have a caller on the line. Caller on the line with the Grey's Anatomy after show.
That was the worst transition
ever. Hey, you're on there with Grey's Anatomy. Hello. All right.
And they hung up.
Okay,
Speaking
great.
of dying.
You jinxed them.
Yeah, so who knows? There's 2 more episodes left for the finale.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we got Karev, we've got Frankie got discharged.
And the whole family got discharged.
Frankie died. Sorry. Whoops, Frankie died.
But yeah, the other ones, and the mom's Sabine. What a cool name, Sabine. But we do see, I love the transition from the monologue that Yang was giving to Sabine, and then all of a sudden she's going to Zurich. You know, sometimes you need to leave the hospital to heal. You need to,
yeah, that was definitely foreshadowing.
Right.
You know, because sometimes you just got to step away, and then just you can see the whole big picture. She had to step away and go to Zurich.
What would make these final episodes well worth it is stop with the patient. Who cares now? Fine, we get it. It's a hospital, but focus on the joy.
Have they ever had an episode where they didn't do any patients?
No.
Right, so I think they're going to stick with what works. It's 10 seasons,
I know.
So that's never going to happen, Jason.
But the thing, it's like we have such a milestone, a monumental milestone that's looming, that's coming, and it's just, I feel, to do it justice, sometimes it's like when you spread yourself too thin. Nothing really gets done to the full. I mean, you can, but more times than not, things will get done to the fullest of your capabilities. You know, I think with the writing, they should focus on Yang leaving and how that's going to impact everyone. God, Meredith is losing her best friend, and
it's just interesting like that. I feel like they've lost. Every season had a theme,
right?
You know, like it was
the theme of love, and right,
you know. And I feel like we've just lost that a little bit, and we're just kind of like all over the place. Like ever since the plane crash, like before the plane crash, there was this big. I don't know.
No, you're right. Every season had a theme.
Had
like something, you know. After the shooting, it was about rebuilding the hospital, and you know, and then after the plane crash, healing. You know, seriously.
What is going on this season?
No one knows. Yang is leaving.
Yang is leaving. Okay, well, you could just be happy with that then.
Right, but the twist that everyone was talking about on Twitter and on Entertainment Weekly was what Burke proposed to Yang, because we thought, of course, I
and
thought,
not an engagement proposal, not a marriage proposal.
But I thought Burke was coming back to reclaim, you know, his love for Yang.
Yeah, we all thought that. Of course, that was not going to be what it was about, right?
But Burke wants to give it all up.
Yeah, Burke is like, I don't want you, and then that line lingered, and I was like, ooh.
No, the best part was, I'm not finished. Look. Janet Jackson stare.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not finished.
No.
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 The answer is no.
No, it said no what? No.
No. I like that. No. No.
Not like, no.
I love that one. Yeah. Hashtag Noah.
Like NOWH.
AH? Noah. I don't know. We've lost it.
But I know. But he wants to give. He wants to give it a hospital in Zurich.
So basically, he feels like his wife took time off of being a surgeon. She was a surgeon first, right? Yes. Maybe I missed something, or she was a doctor at least, and she made sacrifices to have this marriage and this family, and he feels like it was his time to step away. I just don't know. Well, I don't know. He's going to step away, and he's giving the hospital to Yang. And I don't know if Yang really should take it. It's everything she wanted. She said it.
Yeah. And we see, so when she comes back from Zurich and Cristina and Meredith meets her at the hospital.
At the airport?
Whatever, same place. You don't know if she said yes or no. All you have is just a blank stare, as usual, from Yang, because her face is so expressionless.
But that's her person, and her person knows that she's going
They're intuitive. They're synced up.
Yeah, they're synced up.
They probably have their Flo comes and visit both of them at the same day every month.
Yeah, probably, but not if she moves to Zurich, because that'll just flip.
Time zones, all that.
Meredith will match up with Arizona, Calzona, and ooh. I don't know. That'd be weird.
We're like, and crickets.
Yeah, that's not her person anymore. Who's going to be her person? Oh, my gosh.
Amy.
No, no. Is Amy sticking around?
I think I think a lot of things that we're seeing now are segueing to what's going to happen in season 11.
So Amy's staying. Okay,
Probably.
fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, should she take the hospital or should she move to Zurich? Should she, next week, we see a proposal from Owen?
He's so beautiful.
That'll be in predictions.
Yeah, well, let's move on to predictions. Let's move on to news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, this week's news and gossip is me and Starr created a new way of saying no. It's Noah. That's all we have. There was really no news and gossip today. I searched to scour the web. There was nothing. I'm sorry, guys.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
predictions.
Well, as we found out from online and from our Twitter followers, that Cristina is in it till the last episode of the season. So I predict that Cristina does take the hospital, and she does leave. She leaves it all behind because she tried to leave it all behind once before to go to Minneapolis right after the plane crash. Plane crash, but that didn't work. But
they weren't giving her what she wanted. She went away for that plane crash.
And it's like, okay, she didn't win the Harper Avery, but she got something better than the Harper Avery. She got a way to have her own legacy. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's even better.
Better. Sometimes it's all like they say. You pray for something and you think it's going to happen a certain way, but sometimes it comes out even better than you imagined.
I'm gonna say God does things for a reason, but
yep, God has a plan. Hallelujah.
Ooh,
yes,
hallelujah.
yes. Why? Because.
Woo!
Starr,
predictions. Okay, well, Owen's going to propose to her next episode. I don't think she's going to take the proposal.
Damn.
It happened too many times. It's not meant to be.
Yeah, their dynamic is squash.
And the fact that he made it pretty clear. If you're going to be a surgeon to this capacity, you've got to find someone who's going to hold down the fort. And neither of them are each other's person. So why would she stay back for a relationship that's love, but it's like
and
tainted?
Even more weird is that Meredith didn't want to reveal to Owen that she went to go see Burke, because it's like mine's bigger than yours contest now.
Oh yeah.
You know
that
what I'm
moment.
saying? Because, and I thought about that. I was like, when I saw Burke come back and then I saw Owen, Burke's energy
is like
off the charts,
yeah.
like 7.9 earthquake, and then you have Owen who's like a 4 point. You're like,
but you love Owen so much. He's so good looking.
He's definitely dropped dead gorgeous. But I'm talking about chemistry. Burke and Cristina, they're mythic. They're like organic, like the stars and planets.
That's true. That's true. I feel like something's gonna happen with this HIV testing as well with Brayden and Dr. Bailey. So I feel like maybe the lid's gonna be blown off that, even though
by Edwards.
Even though Edwards didn't, is on her side, thinking that she's number one, slip. But she might slip. She's known to, swamp monkey and get crazy with it.
Well, here's why I am predicting that the finale needs to be so off the charts and so like, wow, that I'm speechless for at least 10 minutes afterwards. Like when Georgia got hit by the bus.
Love that.
Yeah,
So that's it for this week's episode of Grey's Anatomy's After Show. I'm your girl, Starr Session. You can find me on Twitter at StarrSession. And this is my co-host,
Jason J. Carter. You can also find me on Twitter at JJCForever and also at thesaywhatwebshow.com.
Yeah, don't forget to follow.
Follow us on Instagram too.
Time.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.